Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Impulse Fan Series podcast. I'm Andrew, and I'm joined, as always, by Brendan and Josh. Say hi, boys.
Hey.
Hello.
And we're also joined today by special guest Clint Harris. Say hi, Clint. How you doing, man?
Hey, man. How are you? Doing good?
Good, good. So excited to have you here. So for those of you who don't know, and you all should, because I know you all follow our Instagram and Facebook, Clint is our sort of fight choreographer slash we look to him to be better because he's tank.
To look cool.
Yeah.
Clint makes us look cool and threatens to put us in a chokehold every day.
That's it. You would have seen
every
him
day.
in the date
set.
night scene, and that all that choreography was Clint's work. So,
Yeah, Clint was the one wearing the blackest night T-shirt.
totally.
He was also the only bold one.
The only bald one. Yeah. The follically challenged.
The follow-up
I love
challenge. Yeah, we I don't think we can say bald in 2020 anymore. It's follow-up
It's
challenge.
probably a faux pas at this point. I don't know.
I reckon. So Clint, give us a little background of your history in choreography, stunt work, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it came from my friendship with my instructor, my professor. Is a guy called Richard Norton. He's pretty well known in the film industry. He just finished up doing the latest Suicide Squad film, which is the Suicide Squad, which is kind of a pseudo sequel, kind of is, but it isn't. I know a lot of details, but I can't tell you anything about it. I'm sorry.
Bummer.
We'll get him to slip up.
No. I can't do that. I'll
Get a
killed.
drink.
Tom
Clint,
Holland
get a
this
drink.
thing.
He'll legit kill me. So yeah, I started. I met Richard first. The first time I met him was in like 1991 or 92 or something like that at a Benny the Jet Urquidez kickboxing seminar, and just remember seeing him there because I grew up watching him in Hollywood films. Oh, not Hollywood films. Sorry, like Jackie Chan Hong Kong films. You know, he was in Millionaire Express. He was in Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. I think was
Oh,
one
so
of
he's
them.
from the Hong Kong School of Stunt Work.
Yeah, so he first started doing stuff with Jackie Chan and Cynthia Rothrock and all those amazing people. His first film was actually, or he had one film here in Australia, but he had another film in the States, was Chuck Norris's major film, which was Octagon. So
Oh,
he
no
played
kidding.
what's his name, Caillou, whatever, the Japanese guy at the end that gets side kicked into the fire or jumping kicked into the fire. That was him. He was the main bad guy. So
That's cool.
yeah, so he's been in the industry for forever. He's done a lot of films with people like Cynthia Rothrock, who was like a real big mainstay for martial arts films, all the way through all through the 80s and into the 90s, and she's still out rocking it and killing it. And it's through his friendship. So I met him in 91 at a seminar to start off with, and then didn't really get to know him because I was like a little snot-nosed, I think 15-year-old kid, probably a bit younger than that. Years later, I started doing MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I was training under a guy called Jeremy Takoti, who lived around the corner from me, and we got a great friendship. He's been my instructor ever since, and he wanted to film some MMA instructionals, so mixed martial arts instructionals, and he needed someone that was able to get on camera and do it. So I went in and had a go, and the syllabus he created for MMA, which is like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with striking and kickboxing and everything, was actually co-founded with Richard Norton. So because of that, Richard was there. And do you guys know that movie Step Brothers? With
Love
Will
Step
Ferrell.
Brothers.
Yeah, we were
It's the
talking about
karate
it
in the
today.
garage.
Yeah, you remember when they get there in the film and they go, I think we're best friends. You know what I mean? That was basically Richard and I's relationship from that day. He straight up started grabbing me and choking the shit out of me.
That's awesome.
Slapped me in the face about 5 times.
Does he have a katana signed by Jesse Jackson? No, who was it? Randy Jackson?
Randy Jackson. I don't know who that is.
American Idol judge. It's from Step Brothers when he rips out the katana sword.
yeah, sorry.
Well, how would you have a katana sword signed by American Idol's Randy Jackson?
You're not going to not get Randy Jackson's autograph.
He probably does. He's got a lot of swords in his house. So he and I got on really well. It was quite intimidating because I'm in front of camera, he's behind camera, and then obviously the same way I taught you guys, had you guys doing on the fight scene, or for Jordan for the fight scene was, oh, how was that? Look at me like a lost puppy, and I say, oh, it was good. Could you just do it a little bit less shit? It was the same. It's the same thing. Richard, he was there. Like, didn't even know him really that well. Only met him for a couple of hours on that, and then he's like, oh, can can you stop throwing punches so shit? Or can you stop doing that? You know, just like fully giving it to me. And I just started giving it back to him. And we just instantly became mates because of it. So we've had a relationship for that. And I became, in Japanese, called uki. So I became his demo partner for a lot of seminars we went out and taught. And yeah, I've been with him ever since. But to get into the film industry stuff or doing movies and stunt stuff, to bring back to your first question, he was teaching a seminar on fight choreography, and he needed someone to help him. So obviously he gets his number one punching bag. So I came in and helped him out. And because I'm not a dummy and I can do a lot of that stuff, and I know how to, you know, you kind of learn it. And he taught me a lot of it. That helped me. You know, I went and helped him teach that seminar, and that helped me get into the industry with a lot of things. That week, I ended up getting doing a music video for Rosalie, which, you know, Josh knows Rosalie, so that's how I met Rosalie. She got me doing a music video, and Clyde was there. So then I met Clyde Bahrain, who did some other stuff with him, another little short thing, and then just kept going and going around. We've gone to Queensland once to do teach some fight choreography seminar over there for one of the stunt schools there, which was really good. And yeah, just been going at it. I don't know.
Wow,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a journey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, what do you find like is because coming from like an MMA background sort of deal, going into stunt work, did you find that it was a difficult transition to make? I mean, not to sound like an idiot, but when you're obviously doing stunt work, did you find that it was a little bit tricky to get into that stage combat world rather than?
Nah, I mean, even as a kid, like, I mean, everyone here probably fought. When I grew up, we had monkey magic, so I remember doing monkey magic, fighting my brother out the backyard with sticks and things like that. So learning those reactions for stage combat was kind of inherent in there, and doing patterns and katas, and you would do demos. Like, I started off doing taekwondo, and you would do a demo for people to, you know, introduce them to taekwondo. So you'd fake punch people and fake kick people all around. So you kind of just, it becomes inherent. You just learn it as part of martial arts.
Kind of have it as like sparring.
Yeah, sparring too. You know what actually hurts, how a shot actually should be. Knock on wood, I've not been KO'd. I've been close, sparring and fighting. I've been choked unconscious a couple of times in jiu-jitsu. But
Shit.
Oh, that's just all part of it. That's just fun.
That's just
It's
fun.
a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah. But just, it's, you know, you grew up. I grew up watching kung fu films. You know, I love Bruce Lee. You know, me and my brother would just get out there and fake punch each other for ages. Then we got obsessed with wrestling, so we'd get on the trampoline and, you know, I'd be Hulk Hogan. I'd be the Ultimate Warrior. Sorry, he'd be Hulk Hogan. I know, right? Grab the rope and just start shaking it.
Nice.
Just yeah, it was just, you know, it's all part of it. So it just organically happens, and you play fight with your mates and things. In terms of stunts for cameras, you just, like, because I'm more in the fight choreography side of things, obviously you have to do falls and stuff as part of it. So you fall and hit the ground. You just do it. You just fall over. You imagine, like, what it's like, and you deal with the pain later. Obviously you'll put pads on, like I put knee pads on. In the short that we did, the little teaser with Jordan, Frankie had elbow pads on and knee pads, and he took that hit, I think.
Oh, Frankie's a champion.
4 times.
Frankie ate those hits like no tomorrow.
Didn't she really hit him? Start hitting because he?
I told him to hit him. Oh, yeah.
She side checked him, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she's psychic. I told him to hit him. She's not gonna. Frankie's had professional fights.
Yeah,
You're not gonna hurt Frankie.
Yeah.
Frankie wins
I'll
professional
probably
fights on mathematical, like.
Well, Frankie.
I'll have some of the footage playing in the middle while we're talking.
Oh,
So
cool.
you guys can see Frankie, the audience, while we're talking about it anyway. So
Yeah, so Frankie and I, Frankie, myself, and another guy called Christian, we get together, not now obviously because of COVID, but we would get together and get a camera and we'd just film us doing fake fights to practice our art. So that's one of the big things. If you want to get into it, there's, you know, we've got technology everywhere. Just get a camera, get an iPad, an iPhone, and just film it. And you'll know what looks good and what looks shit. It's just, the whole thing is you just have to really be honest with yourself when it's that. So Frankie and I would get together and we did a fight scene in the boxing ring, which I was talking to Josh about today. And yeah, we're tagging each other with that, with the body shots. Generally, my general rule is anything below the chest, below the shoulder, the neck,
Mm-hmm.
you can make some remnant of contact because you want to be able to feel it. Above the head, obviously, you can't be punching people in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
but I
can
mean,
you?
a side kick or a roundhouse or whatever, or maybe not an agate shot, nut shot or something like that. But
Hopefully not. That happens.
Hadouken.
So, what did you find working on? Speaking of date night, how did you find that process? Was because I wasn't obviously there. Brendan and Josh were, but just for my own curiosity, what was that process like for you? Stepping, I guess Jordan would have been, and
Very
Brendan
unique.
obviously very new to it. What was that like? Step us through that process.
when you're getting an actor to do a fight scene, I can't get there in the couple of hours. What did we do? Like 5 hours of
Something
shooting?
like that, yeah.
Oh, mate, it was way longer than 5 hours.
Was it?
But like the training beforehand was probably 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But I can't expect the actor to be able to become a professional boxer or a professional kickboxer, especially if they've never done anything before. So you find out what they can and can't do, and you cater around what they, to try and make that work for them. So in terms of Jordan, I thought a simple side kick. She's going to have the bow, just swing the bow and crack, and the whole thing is just getting her to get the angles right. So I remember we had Brendan and Jordan practicing fake punching each other, just right, left, right. Back and forth to practice the time and the reactions for it. And it's, Brendan didn't have any fights in there anyway, but it's good for you just to experience it, and it's good fun.
Yeah, it was.
And once you
You're trying to
understand
say-
the angles and the reactions and the space and the distance and the timing, then it becomes second nature. So just getting the feet wet and getting in there. That fight scene, I think we spoke about it on a Thursday. Josh asked me he wanted something, and I sent him something in 15 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Basically,
Yeah. it
pretty
was-
much
it
a
was quite-
synopsis of what I thought was going to happen. The whole idea of getting shot in the foot with a bow, to take out the 3 people, one person, getting cracked. I think it was a side kick in there. It was pretty much, it was there. It was like we had an
Yeah.
idea of what we were going to do.
yeah.
I remember the conversation we had about it because I remember we had the Impulse trailer out and we were like, we need to showcase Jordan's character, and because she was unavailable for the trailer, and so we're like, we need to get something out with her, and I was like, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's film something where we can show some of the action, get the guys to meet you, because we'd spoken about bringing you on board and being the fight choreographer and that, and yeah, I remember just speaking to him like, you said to me like, what do you want? I'm like, well, I don't know, I wanted to fight somebody, but I think one of the things I was kind of on was like, I wanted to fight multiple people. And you're like, 3 is kind of a good number. You can work with that because you can get a few things in this and that, you just kind of snowballed from there. And you're like, bang, 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 bang. Here's all the stuff, and you smashed it out really fast. So that was kind of cool seeing your process with that. Yeah,
I think the big thing is just have some sort of imagination. You know what you want to see. You know what you like.
Yeah.
If you're watching a film, you know what looks good and what doesn't look good. Like an example would be if you guys watch The Raid. Have you ever seen The Raid? The film in the house. I watched the first one. I loved that one. That's amazing. I watched the second one. I fucking hated it. The reason I hated it was because it was just so, it was just so unrealistic. And I think that was because my perspective at that time was because I was training in MMA and everything was so just, like, this is how fights are supposed to be. Having watching UFC and everything like that,
Sure.
I just went, this is just not real. They're getting punched about 40 times. It only takes a couple punches for someone to get really KO'd. Yeah. So I just, the audience, a lot of people won't know what's wrong, but they will know there is something wrong when they look at it.
Yeah.
And, like,
speaking of things that are right or wrong, so I do. There was one thing in the fight scene which I never picked up on. Nobody picked up on apart from Richard. From memory.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know
What
what
was it?
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The
So when Jordan
But,
on the last strike where Jordan punches me in the face, her hand was like where's the camera? Like this.
I was hollow.
Yeah, she wasn't making a fist. I didn't see that.
I didn't notice that either.
So I showed that to Richard. I showed that to obviously Josh saw it because he was editing it. I watched it multiple times, just sending notes back to Josh. Speed it
I
up.
saw it as
here,
well
do
a
this,
lot. I
that.
didn't pick it up either.
Yeah, exactly right. And then
kidding.
I went, and Richard goes, "Oh yeah, the hands." I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my god."
We're gonna have to cut to a slow mo of that in the video of this podcast. I reckon.
That's just, but that's like a professional. You know, like that's someone that gets paid big bucks to do a Hollywood
He's at the
film.
top of his game.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, he just finished doing Suicide Squad. He was in Mad Max. He did Mad Max Fury Road. He was one of the bad guys in that, and he did all the fight choreography. Richard Norton is just an absolute legend, and like he's basically a second father to me in a lot of respects. He's got a father figure, and I just when he knows his stuff, he really knows his stuff, and martial arts as well too. Like he's an amazing coach. He's an amazing professor. It's been.
Well, you can definitely tell because it's rubbed off all on you. So you know,
don't say it. Don't say it.
You're not too bad.
No
Richard Norton Jr. Richard Norton Jr. Eh?
No, I doubt it. I'm not.
I think he's blushing.
He keeps putting pictures up of himself, of him with no shirt on, with random celebrities like Joe Cocker. And here's another picture of him with no shirt on with ABBA. And I'm like, okay,
that's awesome.
This actually won't be in our little question sheet thing because the other guys don't know, but. I mean, it's been a little while now, but a little birdie told me that somebody got their black belt.
Yeah,
somebody's now a master.
Like black belts are pretty easy to get by these days, except for one art, which is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's probably one of the hardest arts to get a black belt in because it's such a long journey. Like if you look at like a karate or a taekwondo or something like that, some clubs you can get it done in like 3 years. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you're looking at 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
On average. Some people do it at 8. It depends on time, but like for someone like me, it's kind of, you know, I never chased a belt, and I got my BJJ black belt at the start of this year. And which is cool because I run 2 clubs, so I'm teaching out of there. I was teaching out of there as brown belts, and it was just nice to get a black belt. I had about 50 people come to my grading, and then I had to like wrestle every single one of them as part of my grading. So that was good. That was about an hour and a half, a bit less than that, of just me wrestling with people. It was good fun.
It's like an endurance trial.
It was fun. It was just fun.
In my head, I'm picturing. Oh, go on.
Also, do you have the Mr. Miyagi mentality of belts? Or like, do you believe that belts have a real significant purpose, and that purpose generally gets like, I guess, misconstrued with a lot of people?
Belts, I think, are just symbols of experience, and also like they can be incentives for people to keep them continuing on. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is probably one of the arts that a lot of people is the blue belt curse. So a lot of people get to blue belt and just stop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it takes nearly 3 years to get a blue belt, right?
Sure.
So you got blue, purple, brown, black, and blue belt is like around about 2.5, 3 years. For some people, it's longer, and you know, they quit after they get there because they go, oh shit, I've tried my hardest to get to blue belt now.
Blue,
now it's how long is it going to take me to get to purple? How long is it going to take me to brown? I've got to spend another 3 years or whatever at brown belt. I've got to spend another 3 years at purple belt.
Yeah.
How long is this going to be? You know, I'm going to be able to keep doing it. Plus, you're dodging injuries and everything. Yeah. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the same as like wrestling and stuff. Is one of those arts that you can't hide. You can't lie. You know, there's a lot of bullshit black belts out there. Someone that's got a black belt and you're like, oh, I got a black belt in some made up bullshit karate style that never existed.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu, you can tell. You get on the mats with somebody, you roll with them, you wrestle with them, and you go, oh, okay, I can see. You know, you can feel that experience, and it's one of those things, which is hilarious because you know I got my black belt. I never chased a belt. Got my black belt at the start of the year, and then we got COVIDed. So now I'm not being able to do what I love the most on this planet, apart from my family. Jiu-Jitsu first, then everything else.
In my head,
I can't do it. Yeah.
I was going to say in my head, I kind of pictured when you go to get your black belt, you have to do like the trial, and the trial is, you know, that end fight scene in the first Ip Man film.
Oh, the 100 people.
He takes on all the Japanese guys.
Yeah,
that's just kind of how I pictured you. They just get the entire group
like
on
that,
you,
except one at a time, not all at the same time.
Donnie Yen's insane for a stunt. I hear he like pays people like $50 to $100 extra if he lets them they'll let him actually hit.
I heard that too. I've heard some other stories about Donnie Yen as well, but I can't tell you. Sorry.
that's 2 things that we don't get to know about so far,
and a lot of people. I don't want to throw Richard under the bus. At some point I'm gonna do a podcast with Richard, just me and him, and just let him spill.
If he says it, it's fine.
Hey everyone, it's Andrew here. I just want to take a little bit of a break from the podcast to talk about our Patreon. So if you haven't already, visit patreon.com/Impulse Fan Series, where you can help us keep this project going for as little as $1 a month. And every donation tier that you go, you get different stuff. So all the way up to being into a raffle of possibly winning one of our prototype costumes from the trailer. So again, that's patreon.com/Impulse Fan Series, and it would really, really help us out. We can't continue this project and we can't make it realize its full potential without your help. And again, you're going to want to check out the benefits that you can get because they're so amazing, and we've got some really cool stuff on offer. So right now I do want to give a bit of a shout out to some of the Patreon members that we already have. So a big, big thank you goes out to Vader Runner, Aaron, Just Joey, DP, Alexander, James, and Andrew. Thank you so, so much for what you've done so far. We know that finances can be tricky in this day and age, so the fact that you're taking the time out and the finances out to help us fund this project, that really, really, really means a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, everybody, patreon.com/Impulse Fan Series. Hope to see you there. And let's get back into the podcast. So, Clint, obviously, you were just speaking about injuries and everything, and so walk me through...
How'd you lose the hair? What happened?
Wow.
What? Yeah,
genetic.
something like
I don't even know.
Like a genetic punch to the head, or what?
Yeah, maybe.
Jesus.
I'm
This got dark.
channeling my inner Krillin, I think it is. I think
you got a nose though. You can't.
Yeah.
If I do enough jiu-jitsu, that's probably going to go at some point.
That's fair.
Break it.
That's fair. What's the type of upkeep that you got to do to keep yourself prepared for the kind of physical activity that you need to do in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? What's like a workout like? What do you do to keep as healthy as possible and basically as injury-free as possible?
All right. So I love Tim Ferriss. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean. Like I love his work. I love the 4 Hour Body. I love all these things. I listen to his podcasts and everything. And one of his things that really, really resonates with me is the concept of minimum effective dose.
Okay.
So MED. So minimum effective dose is that, like, let's say, obviously this is not an example. This is a silly example, but let's say to get 100% of the results, let's just say you have to do one set of 10 repetitions of bicep curls. But as you progress to that 10th rep, you increase the chance for you to get injured. You'll get 100% of the results, but you'll also there's an opportunity for you to get banged up. Also, you can't train the next day.
Sure.
Minimum effective dose is, what do they call it? The ratio, 20% of the work gives you 80% of the gains.
Yep.
So I can't remember. You maybe look it up. It's starts with P.
Yeah, it's far out. I spoke about it on my it doesn't matter. We don't need
so an
to
example would be if you knew that all they needed to do to get 80% of the results was do 20% of the work. All they needed to do is bicep curl 2 times or 3 times, and they get the majority of 80% of the same
Pareto
gain.
principle.
That's the one. Yeah,
That's it.
If I can do that and I decrease the chance to get injury, meaning I can train the same again the next day, and the next day and the next day, and I keep increasing, and that 1% of getting better every day, just improving. That's what I like to do. So I look at things like Tabata as a training mechanism.
Yep.
So like I'll do a protocol, not strict that. I'll do 20 rounds of 4 exercises of basically 20 rounds. So it's like five times. You do 5 sets of each one. So like today I did kettlebell swings, push-ups, squats, goblet squats, and just crunches.
Okay.
And I just went through over and over and over and over again. And that's enough. That's 10 minutes of work, including rest. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. That smashes you. By the end of it, that last set, you get through it, but you're like, oh my God, that's horrible. But you give yourself adequate rest for each of the muscle groups, and you're feeling really good about doing it. And it's 10 minutes out of my day. Now, if I do that every day, I can do that every day. That I'm just going to keep upkeep and keep progressing where I need to. When it comes to other things, the other thing is you have to work on your flexibility. That's really important. So, and to get back to your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and martial arts and training in general, the worst thing you could possibly be is sore when you're trying to wrestle somebody. Or have muscular soreness. You don't want to get in there and do a heavy weight session and blow your biceps out and your shoulders and your pecs, and then try and fight off a guy that weighs 110 kilos. And you haven't got any push or haven't got any give to get him off you. you want to have that energy. You want to have, and also once again, you don't want to increase that chance to get injured. That's the big thing for me. It's consistency. I've been so good to be able to train from the age of 4, from when my father first started me on Taekwondo and my uncle, all the way now to 42. All right, so I've still been training, and I've been able to do martial arts all the way through. I mean, this is probably the biggest break I've had from being able to actually physically grab somebody and choke them or punch them or kick them.
Sure. And how are you combating that? Like, what do you have stuff at home, like something that you can grab, like a big dummy or something? I don't know. Like, how does that work?
I made up a dummy.
Yeah.
Well, so I got some. I got a like what Brendan's wearing, like a what are they called?
Dragon Ball Z jumper.
No, Dragon Ball Z jumper, whatever. Zipped up the front, packed it full of towels, and then put a gi on top of it, and put one of my old brown belts around its waist. So I use that as a dummy. So I've got like a practice dummy. I've been looking online to probably buy a good practice dummy, depending on how long we're in stage 4 and stage 3.
Yeah, right.
And just I've got mats there. I have sometimes before COVID, before we went to stage 3, I had people come and do privates with me. So I was teaching jiu-jitsu out of my garage.
Yep.
Which is always good.
Can you still do that, like 1-to-1 outside?
Can't do it. Can't do it now. No. Once stage 3 kicked in, we weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
bummer.
we once stage 3 came, gyms were closed, so you could do outside exercise, but you can't do inside exercise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess even outside exercise, you wouldn't be able to make contact with the other person, I suppose.
Well, that's kind of defeats the purpose. I mean, there's no such thing as touchless jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so it's kind of like doesn't.
I can't chi Kimura somebody or chi rear naked choke somebody or whatever. Yeah,
Sonic boom.
Right.
So
like I said, it's just upkeep, and I always train that way. I'm in a gym most of the time, like leading up, like all the way through. Like when I'm running, when I'm at the club, they're in gyms. They give me a big mat space out there, so I just go out and bang some weights. I'll do like 5x5. I'll do the strong lifts workout for myself. Once again, the whole idea is not to get sore. There's also another workout I do where it's 2 sets where you do a 90% of your 1 RM, so your 1 rep max.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You do about 3 reps if you can. Say if you're doing bench press.
Yep.
And then you drop it down. You do plyometric push-ups. Do 7 plyometric push-ups. Rest for 5 minutes, and then do that again. But you drop it down to 80% of your 1 RM and do like 5 reps, and then 5 to 10 plyometric push-ups. So it works fast twitching muscles, and it works really well. It's just about getting stronger. And you do that workout every day without getting sore. So.
And how did you find out this workout? Like, did you was it Google? Did somebody else already know about it and told you about it, or?
Well, I work in a gym, so I'm a PT as well. So I always love finding the new things. Like
trend,
what's
the
new. And I always one of the things that annoy me about anything is when somebody says to me, like used to when I was working at like Telstra, when I was working at in IT, when someone would say to me, I'd ask them, why do we do a process like this? And they say, this is because we always do it this way.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
they can't explain to me why it is. That would frustrate me. So I'd either try and find it. I want to find out the reason, and I can always think there's always a more efficient way to do stuff.
Sure.
And it's just part of it. And it's great. Once again, getting back to Richard Norton, it's amazing seeing somebody like him who has the same mentality, that same methodology, that like there's always a better way to do something. There's always he's always consistently trying to improve himself. The film I was helping him with before this stage 3 kicked in, we're working on weapons, so we're doing a lot of sword stuff, medieval, looking at Hammer, which is like historical European martial arts stuff. He's got a lot of basis in Japanese art, so a lot of katanas and samurai swords and all that sort of stuff. And sais, he's known for being amazing on the sai.
Wow.
So we were working back and forth. He was teaching me a lot of his weapon stuff. I was researching a lot of the other stuff. It was interesting, just him and me going back and forth and trying to go, this works, this doesn't work. And we came up with some really, really interesting things that I can't wait to this film that I can't talk about, and it's probably not going to film until maybe next year. But hopefully it'll happen.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if Andrew might have this as a question, because I actually haven't seen the questions.
I didn't make them. I'm going off by heart.
Josh. I want to transition from what you just said to impulse, because I know with speedsters it's quite hard to do choreography, and generally they shows like CW Flash, they tend to go for the just look at the lightning and like the lightning flashes. kind of thing. Do you have any ideas, or have you thought of any innovative ways or like adapted ways that we could see speedsters fighting each other and make it look cool?
A lot of the influence was watching those X-Men films with the scenes
Quicksilver?
With Quicksilver?
with Quicksilver, where he's running around and like all these things are happening around him in slow motion, and he's just moving in normal speed. So my thought process of speedsters, everything will be in slow motion in the background.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening, and they'll just be fighting normally. If that makes any sense.
Just have the lightning kind of go, so like a
have the lightning go around, so they don't need to be.
Slow.
I love the Flash series. I love Arrow, the Arrowverse, and everything like that. But you can't get to see. All you see is hands moving like that, and there's like lightning and shit going around, and he's like, oh, he's clearly beating him up somehow. I can't see it. It makes no sense. But I thought having the people actually fighting in real time, but everything else being slowed down with lightning, might be a way to sort of bring attention to it, 100%. And possibly using external things. You know, like one of the scenes. I won't spoil the first thing. It was one of them at the party.
Yeah, feel free to say you can drop some of it. This can be an exclusive for not
charity ball.
Patreon, but I guess
at the charity ball.
You're gonna hear it first. Yep.
I had a vision of one of the guys shooting, and obviously Impulse running up, and everything's in slow motion. Him being a little smart ass, squirking, just sort of pushing the bullets out of the way. And my visualization was that scene out of Pulp Fiction. You know, where they're standing there, they've shot at him, and all the bullets are on the outside of the wall, didn't actually hit them. Yeah. So all you're doing is just knocking them just a little bit out of the way, just enough so it like whizzes past and ends up, and then the people behind that were caught in the spray of the gun of somehow would just sort of look behind and think that, oh, what the hell happened? You know, like, well, what was that?
Yeah.
Just little things like that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'd be quite. I've got a couple of. I made some notes. I sent them through to Josh. I can't remember what they were.
We'll have to look at production for some of that, because I'm already thinking logistical nightmares for filming.
I could see your face change when he started talking about all this.
No problem. We'll just have 100 cameras, high speed, low light, freaking the whole
shoot for the stars, and then we'll just.
And you broke down.
No, but realistically though, how we'd probably do it would be to shoot the fight on a green screen with trackers, and then shoot the background, and then have motion capture markers in the shot, which would then remove in post, but then able to sync up the camera to the virtual fight, so that we could have the background in slow motion, and then have you guys fighting in normal motion. And the other side of it is, if we want to move in 3D space, we can just make the entire background as a virtual set. So
bring on Unreal Engine 5. I mean, come on.
I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for it.
It's going to be so good.
So basically, what you're saying is, though, the fans can expect a very visual fight at some point if Impulse and Inertia are to cross paths.
Are you going to get into shape?
I've been working out. Andrew, you can back me up.
He's working on it.
Fired.
I'm going the other way. Sorry, I'm getting my dad.
I feel like Brendan wants to get his abs out right now.
I do.
I feel
What's he doing?
I'm going to send you a pic, Clint.
Oh, he's good.
No. You can do it on the webcam.
Oh, no.
He's going to start turning into me and start posting like shirtless selfies every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus Christ.
Triggered by you wearing all the Superman clothes.
Do you want to see?
Makes me want to get my Superman costume out. But
do you want to see a photo I took of me in my dancer's belt from earlier today?
No. Nobody wants to see that. No, not even Patreon wants to see that shit.
All right, I've got my
Oh, God.
Patreon, more like Patreoff. Oh,
Oi.
right. Oh,
that's for OnlyFans, mate. Just leave it for that.
Just lost 20.
There we go. I was better than I was before.
oh man, that's a lot of fun. So anyway, back. Or are we waiting for his reaction to this picture?
Waiting for Clint's reaction.
Okay.
Saitama's reaction.
You doing any bicep curls?
Wow.
He should be.
Don't. Oh God! All right.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
That's good. Work more. You working your lats?
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Andrew's.
Yeah. So we've we've just gone through the first 4 weeks with Brendan, kind of adjusting him into working out, and now we're starting to pinpoint the areas that need it. So we're looking at different kind of back exercises, getting his. We're looking at sort of giving him a little bit more of that Dorito shape, as Brendan so nicely put it. Because obviously he doesn't have a lot of weights right now, and we wouldn't want to focus on bulk or anything anyway. So we're looking at trying to get his lats going and his shoulders, and we're just focusing on those areas so we can get that. Yeah,
push-ups and chin-ups are your
Yeah, I'm
mainstay
gonna buy a
there.
cheap
How many
part
push-ups
tonight.
did I have you do the other day, man?
I did 200 and something.
Nice.
That was a good time.
Well, not dropping him in it. I got to hang out with Charlie Hunnam a little bit, and if you guys know how
Yeah.
Charlie trained for King Arthur, he was doing 1,000 push-ups a day.
Wow.
And if he missed a day where he didn't do 1,000 push-ups, he would do 2,000 to punish himself.
Shit.
I
Brendan,
wonder how
you
many
don't need
push-ups
me
he's gonna
anymore. Just do
when he
1,000
plays,
push-ups every day.
Green Arrow.
We'll get you doing the salmon
What
ladder.
was that,
buddy.
Josh? Do you want to repeat that? Do you want
What?
to say that a bit
Oh
louder?
no, just mine part. That's all.
Oh yeah, shout outs to that one live stream where we forgot to turn off the camera.
Yep.
That's a lot of fun. So, Clint, in terms of speaking of impulse and everything in the fight choreography, obviously you'll have to sort of collab with Josh to see what's possible, what's not possible, and everything. Find out, obviously what he wants the ultimate thing to look like. But do you find that when you work on a film or a series or a project like Impulse that the director will say to you something, not that I'm saying that our director has done this, but a director will say to you, dude, I don't know what I want, I'm leaving it in your hands, you just do it. Is that a thing that happens a lot? Or
A lot of people, like we did a project called Bullet Girl, which was originally was going to be a short film, then it became a music video. I don't know why.
fair enough, as it does.
But I spent about 3 months training the actors up, two ladies, and the other guys I had, once again, Frankie and Christian with me, who are my boys when it goes to stunts and fight choreography. They're both really good. And with that, the director for that, Rosalie, just sort of left it all in my hands, which was good. She had something she wanted to have in there. She said the word she wanted was brutal, so I tried to make it as brutal as we possibly can.
Yeah.
And obviously I set it to a certain level, and then the expectations went down. It's really, that was a really good learning experience in that I actually got Richard in to watch the fight choreography, and he came in and added some tips for me. He came along to the gym. It was a good little thing for the actors too. A nice little treat for him to come in, and he's Richard Norton to help him out.
Yeah.
And he added a couple of things about tempo and increasing timing. It was a really good lesson for me.
Yeah.
For the filming of it, one of the big lessons I learnt from that was, and I know Josh is not like this. He loves me. No, he loves to.
He loves me.
He likes input, and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
likes being able to if you sort of know what he listens is really
Yep.
important. Wherein the director I work with, that one, she gave me a lot of time to do it leading up, lots of months of it leading up, to work with the actors and get the fight choreography all done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went into shoot, and we basically did it in a day, and it was like it should have been a 3-day shoot. We did in one day, and we were rushed, and she spent way too much time on the first engagement, and the main fight we didn't do nearly as much, and the main fight was the important fight.
Yeah.
And it was like I had to push to get some coverage, so
Sure.
it was quite frustrating with that. It was a good lesson to learn about setting expectations and just making people realize, and the actors too, you have to say to them, like, I'm not the one that's going to be on the screen.
Yeah.
I was in it. My part as playing one of the gangster bad guys in it was amazing because I did it. Sorry, no humble brag.
Take a bow, take a
It is
bow.
what it is. Yeah.
But I was amazing in my part, but then those guys, the actors, just dropped the ball. Frankie and Christian both were amazing as well. But then when it came to those two ladies fighting, it just, all the work they put in there, they just basically, lack of a better phrase, they shit the bed, And then again, with a director that doesn't know exactly what she wants, the angles weren't right. It was just, it was like she wouldn't listen to much of my input, and it was just, we got to get this done. I'm like, no, we need to spend time on this. This is costing us money. We're hiring this place. This guy's going to charge us extra money. I was like, okay, so if that's all you're worried about, then clearly, you don't want to have a good product. So
Yeah.
Different
Was there an
priorities for you
AD
guys
on
to
that
play.
shoot? Was there a first AD?
yeah, there was. I don't want to bring up his name.
Okay, because I was going to say that should have really come from them, not from the director. You should, be I guess,
Yeah.
focused
Yeah.
on the creative
Yeah,
aspect.
she was the first AD. She
Also
she
shut
was-
by dead.
she also shat the bed. She was kind of brought in as like someone to help out. But even the what's the camera person called again? The
DOP?
Photographer.
The DOP.
Actually, it
yeah.
depends what they did, but yeah, DOP.
No, the DOP. He was on my side and he was trying to get as much shots, but she just the director and the AD or director just overrode everything. Bit of a, but you know, that
I guess
is what it is.
sometimes productions are just you got.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping she doesn't watch this right now and come after me because of this. But it's the truth. It gave me a good lesson. I think experience is always the best way to learn something. So
Well, the final product was pretty good. Yeah, like because I think I'd seen some of it. I think
I can send it to you. You can have a look and let me know.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for a music video, and
yeah.
and I'm not a particular big fan of the band that was playing.
Fair.
Like there was 2 days shooting on that set, on that site, and the second day was them recording the band.
Oh.
And all I
that's
was thinking,
interesting.
oh, you bastards! I wish I could just have that second day for the fight.
Yeah, you feel like that would have been done beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You could have had the band playing in an alley in the middle of nowhere, and
Doesn't
they
really
could have
matter.
just had the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We did have. We filmed at the Cherry Bar as well. That scene was.
Oh, I
pretty good.
love that place. Yeah, that would have been
so
cool.
we filmed there. That was actually there was a part where the actress is going around shooting people. That was quite good.
Yeah.
Because a bit gunplay and stuff, and that came out really well. It was a great set. But yeah, it's just a learning experience. You know, it's not much you can do. You just sort of go, all right. Yeah, like I'm trying to think what other little experiences I've had.
There's the rehearsal stuff we did for Game On.
I was
Oh,
about to,
yeah,
I was about
that
to
was kinda
mention
fun.
Game On, but I didn't know if I could bring it up.
Yeah, game on, which is
Do you want to let everyone know what Game On is?
game on was.
It sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's basically if you look at an arcade machine, say here, in the 90s, we'd always have people rock up and put like dollar coins on the side of the machine or 20-cent coins to be able to be the next person to play. So when Street Fighter in 1991 came out, Street Fighter 2, that was the big game, and everyone would just line up. You'd have one person playing, and someone would just smash the other person. Next thing, the whole thing about Game On is that it is basically a video game, and different people come in and play. And but it's not a video game, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, isn't it?
It's
weird.
funny because it's kind of the reverse of what you said with the other one. The other one was a film that got turned into a music video. This was a commercial that got turned into a film.
Yes.
Which
Nice.
I guess it's not going to be used as
Is
a
Game On,
commercial.
did it finish production? Like, is it available to watch?
No, we
No,
choreographed
we-
the first fight scene, the first
Yeah,
section.
Because
There's
there were 5 sections, and
Yeah.
then we had the first 2 had been choreographed out, and we filmed them. So I test shot.
You were
First 2
DOP, right,
fights.
Josh?
Sorry.
We did it.
DOP?
We're doing it in Josh's backyard.
Yeah. So okay. So I guess the origins of Game On was that part of my showreel service was opening up a new. I wanted to do a new thing for like fight showreels, and obviously I spoke to Clint about that, saying if we work together, I shoot them, you choreograph them, kind of thing, and then we're like, well, we need like a body of work to showcase. And I was like, well, let's put something together, like a little ad. And then we kind of spoke about, there's so many different types of fighting styles and ways you can showcase it. There's Hong Kong action, and there's kind of like Jason Bourne, type fighting. There's the handheld
snap
raw, the shaky stuff. There's the fast cutting. There's a bunch of different stuff. And so we said, hey, let's turn it into like, I guess, a film. And Game On kind of came from that, where we can showcase, and like Clint said, it's like different.
A new
characters
challenger
in a video
approaches
game.
kind of thing, where it's like...
Like each
Maybe
level
different styles. Yeah.
is a different
Right.
style. And yeah, that's where that kind of, and I guess while we've been speaking, there would have been some footage I would have put in the middle here somewhere.
Here's
If you're looking
hoping.
for the
Scene.
inexperienced fighting style.
The pillow.
The pillow fighter, he says. That's
No, we had a pillow. We had a pillow in there and everything.
Oh,
It
the
was
pillow is supposed to be
that
a
was
chair.
supposed to be
Yeah.
a
So when you see
chair.
that footage, that pillow's a chair.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean that's still in the work. I've got that
Yeah,
other
well, I
thing
mean, once
want to
COVID's
do.
over, we'll get back to that. But
That other one I want to do the road rage one, which I don't want to talk about because I don't want anyone to steal the idea, and I want it to be a surprise. That's
We
going
You
to
can
just
cut
let
it
people
out.
know
If
the
you want to tell us
theme.
about it.
Nah, I could tell you about it if you want. Do you want to cut it out?
Yeah, we'll cut it out.
Yeah, we'll cut it out.
All right. Okay. So it's like
Sorry, everybody, you don't get to hear what this was, but it was a doozy. And back to the podcast.
oh wow.
That's crazy.
I think. Wow.
That's
Yo,
that was-
dude,
that's.
probably the best
I don't know
thing
what to
in my
say to
life.
that, man. I'm kind of like.
OnlyFans,
That's
mate.
revolutionary.
You'll only be able to find about it on my OnlyFans account.
That's
No, I'm
just.
kidding.
Wow.
So, we've been speaking a lot about experience. I guess to sort of start to wrap up, I guess Clint, what one piece of advice would you give somebody who wants to get into MMA, martial arts, fight choreography? You know, what piece of advice would you give?
There's a couple of things. If you're an actor and you want to become a fighter, not a fighter. If you're an actor and you want to do action scenes, don't go too crazy onto like trying to learn kung fu or anything mental like that. Learn boxing.
Okay.
Boxing will give you fundamental footwork. It'll teach you how to hold your hands. It'll actually teach you how to throw punches correctly, and then it's very easy for you to be able to transition across. It's so obvious when you see somebody put their hand. I can tell from somebody putting their hands up whether or not they know how to throw punches properly, exactly right. Where their elbows are, anything. I can read it. I can tell if someone's, how their chin's tucked down, if they're looking, you can just see it. Like anyone that's a trained fighter. And as I said, the audience, they don't realize that they know it. They might not be able to pick up on something and why that doesn't seem right, but they'll still see it.
Yeah.
They'll go, oh, that does.
Something's
I
off.
don't know what.
It's like that thing that you see out of the corner of your eye. It's like, wait, something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
And you don't know what's wrong about it, what grates you the wrong way. So boxing, probably one of the best arts for anyone to get. Learn how to throw punches. Okay. Then if you wanted to get into the whole learning how to do kicks and things like that, find an art that specialises in kicks. Taekwondo is really good. Probably one of the best things for kicking. Muay Thai is really good. The hardest of the arts to get into is grappling.
Sure.
Because it's such a huge investment to be able to be a good grappler. It's massive. It's so difficult. So I would recommend and there's not, to be honest, there's not a lot of films where they do have a lot of grappling involved.
Yeah.
It's, Donnie Yen, we mentioned Donnie Yen before. I mean, Donnie Yen has, I think it's Flashpoint, one of his films. He has some grappling in that. I think at the time, he might still be, I don't know, he's probably brown by now, but he's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he loves all that MMA stuff.
Yeah. I think I've seen
Can
one
we just
film
quickly
with
just quickly
grappling.
clarify? Oh, sorry, Brendan, say again.
I think I've seen one film with grappling. I can't remember what it was, but I know in it, some guy has like a knife and he slices like one of the guy's like Achilles tendons, like on his foot, and then they start grappling on the bottom. That's like one of the only times I've seen grappling in a film.
Slows a fight scene down like
Yeah.
heaps.
So I just like to point out that Clint outranks Donnie Yen when it comes to jiu-jitsu.
If you put it that way.
You would be his master in jiu-jitsu.
yeah.
And
Let's just
Van
let that
Damme's.
sink in.
I'd be his professor.
He's a
I
very
think
he's a
that's
very
the title.
humble man, but we're gonna give him that.
Plug him.
Donnie.
But yeah, just talking about grappling, I guess, and you tell me if I'm wrong. For me, from a visual perspective, the reason why grappling isn't seen too much is visually. Unless you know what to look out for.
Sure.
Visually, it's pretty boring because everyone's on the floor. There's not much happening visually, but I guess from a grappling perspective, there's a lot going on. Like when you guys are doing it.
If you look at, the public consciousness is changing now with the UFC being so popular. Everyone's starting to understand grappling a little bit more. But even then, I completely agree. Like you watch a fight scene and suddenly they start wrestling around the floor. You think, why are they rolling around? What's going on? What's this silliness? You really have to have a good dynamic. Donnie Yen did a really good way. He did one with a guy called Sammo Hun.
Yes.
I don't know the name of the film, but it was really good. It was back and forth, jiu-jitsu, just rolling around. He was shooting double legs, and it was some of the stuff can be really exciting. But it's the same thing. It's Bruce Lee put it really, really well. Is that when he was not trained, a punch was just a punch and a kick was just a kick. Then when he started to train, a punch and a kick became something more. Something more. There was much more to it. And then once he was trained and he understood it, a punch is just a punch and a kick is just a kick, right? So, a lot of people, they look at it, they go, oh, "What is that? Why are they wrestling? Why don't you just punch him in the face?"
Yeah, fair enough.
There could be a lot of stuff. Like most people know what an arm bar is. Most people know what a choke is. They know that. The old bit where someone breaks somebody's neck, we all know that doesn't really work, but that's an easy way to get rid of somebody in a film. Like it was.
Speaking about that,
Like
can
Chong
you,
Li.
let us know a little thing about the difference between in real life compared to films when someone gets choked out in a film and they're just like, and they check their pulse and like, oh, they're alive and just walk away. You want to explain the realistic element of that in films?
People are still alive when you get choked unconscious. What do
Yeah,
you
but
mean?
when they leave them there and they're out for like hours.
Yeah, that's you don't go out that long.
Isn't it a thing of like if you're out for like
Like a
over 20
minute?
seconds or whatever, you got brain damage?
No,
Or you start to
it's
like you can't be out for too long?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's what lack of oxygen to brains pretty much when
Yeah.
brain damage, or 5 to 15 minutes or something like that. Is people aren't going to be holding. That'd be a boring film. You're sitting there watching the main actor just holding someone who's choking for ages. Yeah, look, there's always films. Film is what it is. It's not reality.
Yeah.
Like it's not realistic. People can go out. You don't go very long. If you get choked unconscious, you come back pretty quick. You're like, oh, what was that? That was awesome. You get an adrenal dump and you feel amazing, really, really good afterwards.
It's like Flatliners.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
flatline.
nice. Yeah, that's a good point.
but not because you don't die.
Yeah, that's a good. Probably good.
But with that said, I mean, people can die from getting choked. I mean, people's carotid arteries can, if they've got stuff in there like plaque or whatever,
Sure.
it can fracture, and people can die. There are people that have died from chokes, but
So,
It's
so I
probably
guess
the safest thing.
it's a good time to say, folks listening, don't try any of this stuff at
Don't
home.
try rear naked choke on your family, guys.
Unless you're
Do it in
trained
a-
and know what you're doing.
do it in a dojo. Yeah, don't
Do it in a dojo.
keep
Do it unclean.
keep your hands to yourself is
Yeah.
the main thing. That's the big thing. Just keep your freaking hands to yourself.
Yeah. So, Clint, where can everybody go to find out a little bit more about you, what you do, and what you're into?
I'm on IMDb. I run. Well, this guy. What's going
You
on?
want to get your mic there set up?
Yeah. what
I'm
is
good.
that? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on. Obviously, I'm on IMDb with whatever projects, but yeah, we're not doing anything really right now. COVID's pretty much shut down
Yeah, fair
everything.
enough.
Listen, I can't promote anything because there's nothing to promote.
That's fun.
Once jiu-jitsu's back up, come to my clubs, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And if you're anywhere near Bendigo or Central Victoria, around about that area, you will learn how to choke people unconscious.
Nice. Well, we'll definitely put your IMDb profile link in the show notes, and hopefully get some people to your profile, get your star meter up, because that's what matters.
This is what it is.
Indeed. Indeed.
We didn't talk about how we met, Josh.
No, let's
Go
cover
for
that
it.
real
We'll chuck
quick.
it back in. We'll
Yeah,
No, we
rewind
did
it.
not. That was not a coincidence.
Hey, Josh, Clint, how'd you guys meet?
Funny story. How did we meet? You had a
We met-
pineapple. I remember that.
That does sound like a
I had
funny story.
pineapple. We met randomly with
A pineapple.
through another friend, and then from
Oh
there,
my god, I'd remember. You were. Yeah, I remember.
we had a random introduction with a friend
was
of ours.
random.
But then from there, it was really funny. Did you contact me, or was it Clyde contacted me for Kung Blue?
Oh, Kung Blue. I like Kung Blue.
That was. Ooh, actually, I don't know.
Because I got typecast again.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Were you a thug again?
Yeah, I was a thug. Yeah, I was a planet girl.
That's where the pineapple came in.
I was moving pineapples.
Yeah,
Stealing
there should be a shot of him
pineapples.
with a pineapple right now on screen.
Track the pineapple on my head, Josh.
Yeah, there should be a pineapple right there. That's where I'm looking on the screen. Yeah, I can't remember if it was me or Clyde.
One
But
of
yeah,
you did, anyway.
we did a film called Kung Blue. 2015, 16?
It was the Aussie cop
One of
drama,
them.
right?
Cop comedy.
Cop comedy.
Buddy cop comedy. Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
man.
I went in thinking it was a martial arts film. And it turns out to be.
And no, we had a lot of fun. And Clint was one of the pineapple thieves. So
Used
that
my
was-
car as well for the police car because I had a white Commodore at the time.
That's right, that was your car.
Nice.
Which we
What's
we
his-
had visual effects. Shout out to Seb for doing awesome
Seb.
VFX work on the cop car. Really made it look like a cop car. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Then kind of from there, we worked on we worked on other stuff together now. So
we did some gaming
we did
stuff
some-
as well.
We did some gaming. Average Aussie
Aussie
gamers.
games.
Boris.
I remember
Mother
that.
Russia
I've seen
Bleeds.
all those videos.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Dear God.
Mother Russia Bleeds,
Yeah.
oh, man.
No, we went and did a bit of that. It was there, and then just whatever, just hanging out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's intimidated me ever since. So
Fair
Just
enough.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right. Got you on keto as well,
yeah.
which you gave that the ass now, haven't you?
A year and a half.
Don't worry, Clint. I'm kind of on keto, so I've got you back.
He's on vegan
I've-
keto, which ain't
When
real
we-
keto.
Kind of.
Not
Just low
really.
carb.
You-
Just low carb.
Well, that's all right. We're just getting your body fat down, then we're going to fucking blast you full of carbohydrates when we're ready to go.
Do you get to eat pizza?
And you'll be
No.
able to see that on OnlyFans. And he gets blasted.
Remember,
with
whatever you guys
carbohydrates.
do to his
Mainline
body,
carbs, right?
No
whatever you
pizza,
guys
no
do to
pizza.
Brendan's body, he's got to fit in the suit.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
will. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
No, it's a shirtless scene.
I just hope that Brendan knows what he's in for.
Don't.
He doesn't.
I regret ever writing that scene. Just give me a muscle suit and it's
Green Lantern.
So Unreal Engine 5 will come out. We'll be all good.
I'm ready
Just
for
click
it.
a button.
At that point, we won't even need actors. We'll just replace you all.
Well, that's
Exactly
fair.
right.
Mocap. You can do mocap with your iPhone now.
You
I'll
just
mocap some stuff.
you do a mocap of yourself, just
Oh
with
yeah,
a different.
but then
body.
you just make my model shredded.
Nice.
easiest way.
That's it. That's how you do it.
Alrighty, well I think that's pretty much it for the podcast, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Andrew, want to
Well-
sign us off?
Yeah, man. Clint, first off, man, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really awesome talking to you about everything.
You're welcome, mate. It's been good. Looking forward to when we can finally get moving and actually start working. And
100%.
you guys are gonna hate me. It's gonna be great.
Bring it
We're
on.
already there.
I'm waiting to see you make these guys cry.
I hope you do.
That'll be easy.
I'm gonna
Nice.
capture it into
I
slow
cry every
motion.
night, so it's fine.
That's fair.
6K slow motion, the tears.
Yeah, just
It's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
it's just gonna be a bullet and then followed by a single.
The only stunt work I ever did, I was so sore afterward, like disgustingly sore. So I know I'm gonna just hate my life when I get together with Clint. It's gonna suck.
I have no excuses. I wrote the thing.
Fair enough.
true. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, look, thank you so much for listening to the Impulse Fan Series podcast. I've been Andrew, joined by Josh, Brendan, and Clint, and we hope you enjoyed this conversation with Clint. And thanks for listening. We will catch you next time. Say bye, boys.
Yes.
See you later.
ya.
Toodaloo.